Hey everybody, so in this video what I'd like to do is demonstrate how to take an orthomosaic or a raster. Maybe you've got buildings on this orthomosaic or a raster and you want to digitize the building locations and you want to know what the size of the buildings are as well, and then you want to label it. So that's what I'm going to do in this particular video. In a previous video I demonstrated how you could do point data on an orthomosaic or raster and then label it. This is going to be fairly similar, but we're going to be doing polygons instead, and we're going to be measuring the size of buildings. So let me open up ArcGIS Pro. And when I open up ArcGIS Pro, per usual, I'm just going to start with a new project. When you click Create a New Project with ArcGIS Pro, a geodatabase is automatically created. That's really important if you want to edit attribute tables. If you don't have it in a geodatabase, your attribute table, then you won't be able to edit it. So here's ArcGIS Pro. I'm just going to start with a blank new map. This is going to be called My Project 30, saves in the default folder, and I click OK. And then what I'm going to do, first thing, is connect to my orthomosaic. And this orthomosaic is a portion of Southwestern College. It was taken with a Mavic 2 Pro drone, and it's a compilation of about 500 different images. So let me connect to Add Folder. This is under the Insert tab. And when I add the folder, I'm going to find what I'm looking for. And this is East Campus Summer 23, so I'll click OK here. And now when I go to View, I'll be able to open up my catalog pane, and my image is now right here in the catalog pane. It's a big, let me get rid of this, I don't want this. It's a big orthomosaic. And so what I need to do before I add it to the map is pyramid it. And pyramiding is basically going to compress the image, so it's going to be easier for me to work with in ArcGIS Pro. So I right click on my orthomosaic, I come to Build Pyramids. I'm just going to leave the whole geoprocessing default and click Run. And then after a few minutes, the image will be ready to go. It'll be pyramided, and then it's going to be easy to work with on ArcGIS Pro. So let me click Run. I'm going to pause the video for the moment. This is going to take a few minutes to complete, so I'll be back momentarily. Okay, we're back. Build Pyramids is completed. That took a few minutes, and now we're good to go. So we can see that the orthomosaic has been added automatically to the map. Let me zoom into it. By right-clicking on the layer in the table of contents, we'll zoom to layer. So this is the map I'm working with. And what I'd like to do is just demonstrate how I can digitize these different buildings and then also get the size of those buildings as well. Let me go back to my map tab here. I'm going to zoom in a little bit further. And so again, what we want to do is, like I said, measure the size of some of these buildings. So we'll do these particular buildings here. We can label them as well. This is the library, but it's only a portion of it, so I probably don't want to deal with that because it's only a portion of it. Here's the little police station. So we'll digitize this police station and get the size of it. And then we'll digitize this building here, which is one of the, well, what is that building? It's one of the classroom buildings. I think there's some digital media arts there, so we'll just measure this as well and label it. So let's make this a little bit smaller. Here we go. And now what I want to do is, again, set up the digitization. So let me go right here to my project, which is where this image is located in. So this is my geodatabase. I'll right click on it. I'll go to New. And then I'm going to select Shapefile. In older versions of ArcGIS Pro, you would right-click New and then do New Feature Class. But in this case, with the newer versions of ArcGIS Pro, we're just clicking New and going straight to Shapefile. So now our new feature class window is going to pop open. So again, here's the Create Feature Class now. But again, we're just creating the shapefile. Our feature class name, we'll just call it Buildings. And we'll keep polygon as our geometry type. You do have a few choices, but polygon is going to be fine for us. Everything else we'll leave as default. And for coordinate system, we'll be sure to click current map because this will give us the coordinate system of the current map. We're good to go. We don't need to mess with the environments. Everything is fine. And we'll just click Run. Now when we click Run, you'll notice here in the table of contents, we have our new layer, and this is going to be our buildings layer. So let me get rid of this window here. Let me get rid of the catalog as well. And now what I want to do is start my measurements. So here's buildings is highlighted. I'm going to click on the Edit tab. And from the Edit tab, I can click Create. And now you'll note here that our buildings shapefile pops up. We'll click on the building shapefile, and we've got a few tools here. I'm going to select the first one, which is Polygon. I'm also going to click this right arrow here at the top, because this is going to give me different IDs, and I'm just going to start developing my new attribute table. So ID 0 is where we're going to start, and for ID 0, I'm going to measure this building here, and we'll call that our Media Arts building. Let me zoom in a little bit further to make it a bit easier. There we go. And so again, I'm just going to measure this building. So I just click on a vertex, click on another one, another one, another one, and then double click on the last one when it's all complete. So that's one building. Then what I want to do is move on to the next building. It's down here, the police station. Let me close this for the moment and move the map. And I'll put the police station in good view. Then I'll go back here to Edit, Create, Buildings, Polygon. And now we're looking at ID number 1. So we've got ID 1, and now I'm going to measure this building here. And double click when we're done. So that's it. Now I'm going to close this out. If I right click on buildings and I look at the attribute table, then you can see I've got my two attributes. I've got the one building that's up here that you can't see, and the police station, which is right down here. You'll notice I can't do anything with it. It's grayed out the Add button. That's because I need to save my edits before I can go further. So I'm going to click Save right here under the Manage Edits tool. And now when I save it, you'll notice I've got the Add back and I can mess around with this. So let's move this. And again, building 0 is going to be our Media Arts. And then building 1 is going to be our police station. So let's add that information to it. So I'm going to click Add. So now what we're going to do is change this name from Field to Buildings. And then the data type here is text. We're just going to name the building. So let's click Text, and then we're good to go. So keep in mind, though, what we're doing now is just naming buildings. We're actually going to add another field, which we're going to get to later, but this field is going to be areas, because remember, what we really want to do is determine what the area of a building is, and the data type here is fine to be long, and the number format, we're also going to make this numeric. So we'll select numeric here, and now when you open up numeric, you actually have a variety of different choices on how you can format the number. So in terms of decimal places, it says 6 as default here. We don't want 6. We're not going to be that precise. So we'll have no decimal places. In terms of significant digits, 6 is fine. We're not going to have areas that's huge. So we'll just leave this as it is. So it would go up to 6 significant figures or 6 significant digits if those allowed. We can use thousand separator. So I'll show thousand separator on, and then that's good. So I'll click OK. So now I've got my numeric. So with this, I can come up here and click Save. And now this is going to save it. And now when I look at my attribute table, you'll notice I've got buildings and I've got areas. So remember, building 0 is Media Arts. So I'm just going to double click on the buildings and just type in Media Arts. And then for Polygon 1 here, this was Police Station. There we go. You'll notice our areas are 0 by default. But remember, what we wanted to do is know what the areas of these buildings are, polygons are. Now, before I do this, I want you to note something really quickly. You'll notice that if I just do this, If I click on the 1, then Media Arts is on or active. If I click on the 2, then Police Station is on or active. What I want to do now is make sure that both of my rows are active so that when I do this area calculation, it'll be effective for all the buildings. I'm just going to come to Area. I'm going to right click on it and I'm going to select Calculate Geometry. And from the Calculating Geometry tool that pops up, here's my input feature, Buildings. The existing field is called Areas. My property is going to be Area, so that's what I'm calculating. I'm going to have my area units as being square meters. My coordinate system is current map. That's all I need, and now I click OK. So now there's going to be some calculations done, and automatically you see that area of the Media Arts building is 615 square meters, and that of the police station is 495. So now I've done my calculations. This is great. I'm going to get out of here. And for this buildings edit, let me go to edit here. And before I leave it, I want to be sure that I click save. So now all of my edits are saved. And I can get rid of the attribute table. And if I right click on it, then everything I've done is saved here. Okay, so now this is great. Now I can label this stuff pretty easily. Let me zoom out a bit. And now let's say I want to label the building, and I want to label it 2 ways. I can either label it by saying what the building is, or I can label it with the area attributes. I'm going to come to Buildings here, right click on it, and click Label. Now by default, it is the ID which is being labeled. But I don't want to label the ID. I want to either label the building name or the area of the building. So I'm going to right click on Building, go to Labeling Properties, and now from Labeling Properties, I can select what I want. I generally like working better in Python, so I'm going to go from Arcade to Python, but that's just me. It's my preference. I'm going to get rid of the expression of ID, and I'm going to double click on Buildings instead. And if I click Apply, you'll notice that the name of Media Arts or Police Station pops up. If I want to change this symbology so it reads a little bit better, I can certainly change the appearance. I'm going to change the color to a nice yellow, and I'll click Apply to see how that looks. That doesn't look the greatest for the moment, but what I can do is give this a nice outline color. Right now it's black, so I'll give it a 1-point outline color. And now I'll click Apply, and Police Station and Media Arts pops up fairly well. But let's say that I don't want to label it in Media Arts or Police Station, and I want instead to label the area. I can just come back here to the class, and now instead of it being buildings as the expression, I'll double click on areas of the expression, and now I'll click OK. And now you can see that the size of the buildings pops up. So I've got 615 square meters for this building here, and I've got 495 square meters for this building down there. And that's how you do it. Pretty straightforward to do, pretty easy to do. You can then, if you wanted to, do your select by attributes the same way as you would always, and you can find these buildings by their name. You can find these buildings by their ID. You can do that select by attributes any which way you want. You can certainly change the symbology of the buildings as well. If you don't want to have this fill color and you just want an outline, that's fairly easy to change also. Okay, that's it. That's some basic of digitizing. Pretty straightforward. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them in the comment section below, and I'll try my best to answer them. Thanks a lot, and until next time, bye-bye.